Hey everybody, and welcome back to Baking with Joy. And today we're going to make a Texas sheet cake. This is a rich chocolate sheet cake, and it's so good. And I'm going to make a half of a recipe, so I'll post the full recipe in the description box. But this is real easy. You just mix it up in one bowl. So we're going to start with, I'm using self-rising flour. And when we use self-rising flour, we don't have to use salt or baking soda or baking powder. So there's my self-rising flour. Then we're going to add some sugar. And then we're going to add some cocoa. And I'm going to take my whisk and just whisk all this up together and get it good and mixed. Now I'm going to start adding my wet ingredients. I'm going to add to this dry ingredients 1 egg. And of course this is half a recipe. And to that I've got, well, let's see. We've got cooking oil, vegetable oil. I'm going to add a little bit of that. And then in this bowl I have a combination of buttermilk and warm water, and I just added it in together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. Always got to have vanilla. So to make sure everything gets good and incorporated, I'm going to use my little hand mixer to mix all this up. I'm going to mix it on low so it don't make such a mess. I'm going to take my spatula and just go back over this again. I just wanted to make sure that the egg got mixed up in there. But you could use your whisk to mix all of this. You don't have to use your hand mixer, because your liquid ingredients is all going into your dry. And this is a real liquidy mixture. I just want to make sure all my cocoa is not lumped up in here. And that looks good. And if you can see what it looks like. So, I've got my oven preheating to 350. And the full recipe, it says to use a jelly roll pan, because this is going to be a thin cake. It's going to spread out. You could, if you don't have a jelly roll pan, you could use a 13 by 9 pan. So, to make a half a recipe, I believe this is a 9 by 9 pan. So I'm just going to pour all this up in here, like this. And let me get my whisk up here. I'm just going to make sure that I got all the liquid out of this bowl. I see a little cocoa specks on top, and I'm just going to mix in. Okay, that's all there is to it. And you just tap the sides of it. Oven preheated to 350. Now, you don't want to bake this cake very long. It don't take but a few minutes. It takes like half the time that you would bake a regular cake. So we're going to opt for 15 minutes and then we'll be back. Okay, everybody, we're back. And our little cake is out of the oven. And I cooked it approximately 23 minutes because it's a thicker pan. You'll need to cook it longer. If it was in a jelly roll pan, it would be 15 minutes because, you know, your batter's going to spread out. So 23 minutes on this little 9x9 pan. Okay. Now the icing, I've melted 1/2 of a stick of butter, which would be 1/4 cup. And I've kind of browned, without meaning to, after I've melted it, I've kind of browned my butter. If you'll see that my butter is sort of dark, which that's okay. You don't really have to brown your butter, but when you do this, when you brown butter, it makes your recipes just taste that much richer and adds more flavor. So without meaning to, after I melted my butter, I left it on the eye a little bit too long and it started to brown, but that's fine. So what we're going to do at this point is whisk in some cocoa. And we're going to kind of lift up because I don't want to cook my butter no more. So we're just going to mix in this cocoa. And I've got my stovetop temperature about medium high. And to this, I'm adding some more buttermilk. And like I said, I'll post the full description, the full recipe in the description box. So after we stir in this, mix in this cocoa to our melted butter, and we put in our buttermilk, we're just going to simmer it a little bit. And as you can see, it's on a little low simmer. You just want to get your milk and your cocoa all mixed up, and I think that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven off and my stove top. Okay. Now we're going to step right over here. And forgive me if I'm a little bit unorganized here, but I'm just going to add me some vanilla extract in. And as you can see, my mixture is a little kind of thick. So we're just going to stir up that vanilla in there. And in here, I have some powdered sugar. And I put just a little bit of these toasted, finely chopped pecans. Now, for the full recipe, it calls for 1 cup. So for half of a recipe, you would use half a cup. I probably got about 1/4 of a cup. Because I'm not crazy about nuts. But the whole point in a Texas sheet cake is the pecans on top. But we just want a little to give it a flavor. Oh my, and you know, the cake has cooled off just a little. But with the Texas sheet cake, it's okay to pour your icing on when it's slightly warm. That's what makes your icing sort of spread out. So we're going to go ahead and add this delicious icing, chocolate icing to this cake. It smells delicious. Now, everybody, you could brown your butter if you wanted to. You can melt it down on low heat and let it cook till you see the little brown specks in your butter. But you don't have to. I just did it by pure accident. But Let's get us a spatula. Okay. Okay, I got my spatula and I'm just spreading it out. And that is delicious. Now, before I cut it, I want to let it set up just a little bit. So we're going to end this video right here. But before I end it, I just want to say thank you for 300 subscribers. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad that you joined me for this wonderful Texas sheet cake recipe. I hope you try it and it turns out to be a success. And until next time, everybody, this has been Baking with Joy, and God bless, and have a great day.